one day God was coming. That was my mother saying. She said when God comes, he was going to punish the people for doing us like they did us. And she was talking about the Caucasian race. And my mother isn't here today, but I'm here to see the day when Allah knocked him to his knees. And I am thankful to be here to see that day. When my mother used to talk to me about how the devil did black people, he used to draw tears from my eyes. And I long for this day. And all praises due to Allah. I'm here to see Allah bringing tornadoes and storms on the devil. Down in Tennessee and Arkansas all last week. So it's a blessing to be here today and the day when God has come to gather his people. And to know that you are one of his people. It's a great blessing, a privilege. He said, brother, my people should get an education which will benefit their own people, and not an education adding to the stronghouse of that. Excuse me.
He wasn't sent to exalt himself. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
He was sent to exalt God's people. it's a number means a whole lot. What am I talking about today?
Yes, sir.
Who is the one that sent me to speak to you today? That should have the foremost consideration. I have so many great, important things to say this afternoon, such supreme wisdom to teach you. I don't even know where to begin. I hope somebody in this audience will understand what I'm talking about here this afternoon. I don't know whether you realize it, but this is the end of the world.
That's right.
You can see the fall of America is in progress right now. I mean, at a rapid pace. The great judgment that Elijah Muhammad said was coming upon America, bring her down. We see them now going on. Rain, hail, snow, floods, tornadoes, earthquakes. I mean, killing people and destroying the property. Hundreds of millions of dollars of the property destroyed. Lives are being lost. People are being injured by the hundreds. Right? That's going on in America and outside of America. Trouble everywhere. All of America's allies and friends are in trouble. Right?
Right.
We can see signs that America is going to be thrown out of the East very soon. That's in the Bible under a parable. When the devil is cast out of heaven, you understand? Get down to earth, right back to America. He can be run out of the East into Europe and America. He said when the devil saw he was cast out, said he had great wrath because he knew then that he had but a short time, and he began to persecute God's people. So there's a lot of things that are about to take place. So you listen very carefully to what I'm telling you this afternoon. My subject this afternoon is beware of the false prophets. When it gets near the end of the world, it said many false prophets shall arise.
That's right.
And shall deceive many. It doesn't say they're going to deceive few. It said many shall be deceived by these false prophets. Even the very elect of God would be deceived. Many of the elect. The stars of heaven shall fall, meaning those in a high place, in high positions. You understand? The ministers of God's last messenger. In a high place, as stars. You understand? Many of them will fall and be deceived in this last day. What I want to teach you this afternoon is how these false prophets are so successful in deceiving people. How are they deceiving the many? False prophets. How they deceive the many is by mixing truth with falsehood. Good and evil. False prophets. Good and evil. Beware means be on guard, so you won't be deceived. Good means truth. And evil is falsehood. So what they do is they mix the truth with the falsehood. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And this is how they're successful in deceiving the people. But I want you to understand also and consider what else is going on here in America right now. Many terrible things are happening to the so-called Negroes in America. Terrible things that never happened before. Since we came out of slavery. After all that 400 years of hell in slavery. Now here we are on the judgment day. We're supposed to be delivered on the judgment day. The seed of Abraham is supposed to be delivered. But now they're going through great trials and tribulations and suffering and murder and shooting and killing one another. They're all caught up in dope and all kinds of diseases. Their children are being burned up alive. All kind of terrible calamities are coming upon them. Ask yourself, why are these terrible calamities coming on the so-called Negroes? Because they have turned down the divine God himself in his last and greatest message. For turning God's messenger down. Do you understand? And turning God down, God himself. Now he's bringing all kinds of plagues upon them. It is written, many shall die with the Gentiles for their unbelief. Many so-called Negroes are dying today. Why are they dying? Because they wouldn't accept God for their unbelief. Terrible, terrible thing that happened to them. When God came, his main theme was separation. Separation is a must. He said the black man must separate from the Caucasian white man. The white man must separate. Separate or die. Do you understand? So our people have turned down this. And the reason why they have turned it down, because of the ignorant Uncle Tom and Aunt Jemima black politicians that I was telling you about last week. Because of the black dumb preachers and brainwashed so-called civil rights leaders. They are working feverishly to integrate blind, deaf, and dumb so-called Negroes with the devil himself. God himself came to separate them. God himself, in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, raised the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in our midst to tell the white man and the black man in America that separation is a must. I want you to take note now. The knowledge and wisdom that God brought and taught his messenger Elijah Muhammad is not a secret. If it was a secret, he wouldn't have written the 4 great books that he wrote. The white man and the black man can go look and see what God's plans are, what God's wishes are. Message the black man. In fact, that book there, I don't know no book greater than that book. Message the black man is more informative and gives the black man in America more knowledge and wisdom of himself than the Holy Quran. The Holy Quran is one of the greatest books ever written, but it's written in such a manner and written in a language that our people can't understand. You see what I'm saying to you? The fall of America, they thought that was a joke because I was like, well, moving in advance. They couldn't see no signs of America falling. It was so great and powerful. But now they see everything he predicted bringing about the fall taking place. The fall of his money, the fall of his educational system. Do you understand? The fall of his political system. We see that in confusion, right? Christianity has failed, hasn't it? The police department has failed. Everything has failed. The parents you can't even control your children at home right now. Children rising up against their parents, killing their parents. Right? And parents killing their children. Never really looked at committing suicide. It means hearts failing them for fear of the things they see coming upon the earth. So these so-called integrationist leaders, you understand, forcing integration upon the people. In fact, the black man don't want integration, and the white man don't want it either. Really. When they force that bus issue, look how the black man is crying. We don't want to bus our children. And the white man don't want to do it either. But that's going to bring about a clash and bring about confusion. So you got these ignorant Uncle Toms working for the white man, governing to do this. So what they're doing is, both preaching integration and striving for integration, they're working and striving against God's plans. So when you work against God's plans, you run into trouble. Do you understand? And they are in serious trouble. This is why they're having racial problems. And everywhere you look, they're talking about racism on the television, in the newspapers. Fevers are rising between the black man and the white man. Aren't they? Right here in Cleveland, you got all kind of incidents happening right here in Cleveland. Right? Black man shouldn't be trying to force himself on the white man. We should be trying to force him away from us. They got hate groups on the march everywhere. Why? Because they turned down God's solution, which is a divine solution. Now America is plagued with divine curses of all kinds, incurable diseases that never existed before, dope addiction and alcoholism running rampant with no solution, murder, confusion, hatred, with death and destruction everywhere. Don't you see the time of trouble that Daniel prophesied? Don't you see that on the horizon now?
Yes, sir.
You don't know what condition you're going to find. When we leave here this afternoon, we don't know what's getting ready to take place. We might go home and find a cross burning in our yard, right?
Yes, sir.
You don't know whether you go home right now and find a bunch of devils right there burning your house down and ready to kill you and your family. past 6,000 years with the Caucasian white man ruling and controlling 9/10 of the planet Earth. This is the final judgment day. And if the divine supreme being did not cut the time short, no flesh would be saved. This is the end of America. The final fall of America is imminent. We don't know what straw is going to break the camel's back. We don't know what incident that will occur. And within 24 hours, you'll find yourself in a whole new ball game, as they call it. Everything will have changed. And you find yourself in a predicament that there's no way out. There's still a way out right now. Because God has his hand out calling the people saying, come this way. Right?
Right.
But if he keeps turning it down, pretty soon he will withdraw that hand. Elijah Muhammad said the day is coming that they will wish they were Muslims and won't be able to be a Muslim. If you think the white man, the devil himself, is not sitting back watching all the people, if you think he don't know who is who, you're sadly mistaken. The Caucasian white man and the Jews, they all know Elijah Muhammad was the real man. When the Jews have their Passover, they have their Passover, right?
That's right.
All right. What do they do at that Passover? They set up a table and leave one place vacant. For who? Elijah. Just think about that. They know who Elijah is. Remember now, this place we're in right now, you own this building right here. You think he don't know who Elijah is? You think he don't know who I am? And what I'm teaching? I've set him down right in my office back there and told him so there won't be no misunderstanding exactly who I am. Before somebody else comes and tells him. And exactly what I'm teaching.
Yes, sir.
You understand? He did not, when I said the black man is God, he didn't exchange words with me. He knows it. This particular Jew, he was in a concentration camp. He saw those devils murder his own mother and father right before his eyes. He got one of the numbers attached to his arm there. Just think over this now. What he's been through. And when they were trying to get together to keep us from coming in, he went to bed. He said, what I'll do is I'll spend, he said, every penny give me in rent. He said, what I'll do, I'll spend it on fighting. I'll go get Metzenbaum, the Jew himself.
Yes, sir.
We will fight them tooth and nails. We won't let them get away. We're not going to let them put you out of here. They tried it. Find all kind of fault wrong. And I wrote them a letter telling them what was getting ready to happen to them and why it's happening. You understand? They have it on file down there. Next thing you know, they left us alone.
Yes,
Do you understand? Our Lord comes to them quick. Here we are up here at peace. Look how this building, look how this floor was looking when we took it over. The white man had, how did we Mason have? It was the nastiest thing you ever saw. They looked like no we people, didn't they? We brightened up. Made it beautiful. Got a nice, got everything ready. Beautiful place to invite our people to. Do you understand? When you go invite them, they turn a deaf ear. So our Lord bringing his divine wrath on. Remember, they're not turning, when I invite them to the temple and you invite them to the temple, they're not turning you down. They're not turning me down. Do you understand? They're turning God down in his last and greatest message. The only God who has the power to save them. So the devil knows this is the end of this world. He has seen the handwriting on the wall, and he knows the prophecy of his end. And the lake of fire that he's to be thrown into. And it's also written that many are going into this lake of fire with the devil. The devil is empty going to the lake of fire. So he wants to take you and I with him if he can.
That's right.
If they're foolish enough to turn down the divine warning of the angel who appeared in Babylon, just before her end, saying, come out of her, you my people, that you be not partakers of her sins and her plagues. Think about this now. The judgment day means the coming of God and the Son of Man coming from the east into the west. The coming of God means separation. Separation is a must. It does not mean integration. This is the end of the world. On the end of the world, God said he would come forth, the Son of Man, and separate the sheep from the goats.
That's right.
Put the sheep on his right-hand side and tell them, enter into the kingdom of heaven prepared for you from the very foundation of the world. It was yours from the beginning. Do you understand? Then tell the devil, you prepared it, go into a lake of fire prepared for you from the very beginning, when they were first made. Now, before I go any further, I want to just tell you a little something, that has a lot of spiritual connotations also. When the devil was made. The devil was made from 59,999 dissatisfied black people. Yaqub's followers, what I'm pointing out to you is the people that follow Yaqub, the one that wanted God's throne, they were all highly dissatisfied. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And they were dissatisfied with the king. You understand? Every follower he had, Yaqub did not have no satisfied followers with the king. They were all dissatisfied with the king. I want you to also take note now what Yaqub told them. If you follow me, I will make you rulers. I will teach you some wisdom that you will go back and rule the ones that were satisfied with the king. Are you picking up on this now?
Yes, sir.
But what did he tell them? They thought he was going to take them on and tell them right away some dark secret. But he said, no. He said, before you can go back and rule them, I got to make you unalike. I want you to give that some serious thought. I have to make you unalike first. Think about this now. Now, after he made them unalike, after the grafting process took place, I want you to take note what kind of a science that he taught them to go back and rule the ones that were satisfied with the king. He taught them the science of technology. Before Yaqub had led them away, they only knew good. Remember Adam and Eve in the garden?
Yes, sir.
They didn't know good and evil. They only knew good, right?
Right.
They knew truth. And God had told them, the day you eat of this tree, that's the day you die. He didn't say, if you eat of this tree, I'm going to forgive you now. The day you eat of this tree, the day you go and learn how to do evil as well as good, then that's the day you die.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
What did the serpent do? Here come this sly woman. We know that. We know there was no snake talking. We know that was a man talking, right?
Yes, sir.
And if you didn't know it before, you know it now. A man was a man talking. Do you understand? Look what he told him. He said, oh, don't pay no attention to that. You understand? You're not going to surely die. Think over this now. Come on and disobey God. Remember now, they disobeyed God. You understand? Now they learn the knowledge of evil and good. The science of tricks. While a person knows how to lie and steal and murder and use tricks in the midst of a good person, he can always take advantage of that person, right? He can go do some terrible wrong and tell a lie about it. If the good person does something wrong, he's got to admit, yes, I did that.
Yes, sir.
You understand? Now, if the good person don't have no knowledge of lies, won't he be ruled by that one?
Yes, sir.
So Yaqub said, I have to first make you unalike. I want you to take note now. After he made them unalike, he took them into the heavens now. They come into the heavens having a knowledge of, after they were with Yaqub for a while. You understand? They learned then to disrespect God. They disrespected the king. You understand? They didn't honor the king anymore. But they're going to pretend like they do. You understand? Now here they come back into the heavens. Having total disrespect for the king, having a knowledge of both good and evil. And they come in mixing truth with falsehood. You see, when you mix truth with falsehood, it's like, for example, when a man goes out to go fishing, he mixes truth with falsehood. The bait, right? That's truth.
Right.
You understand? But in the bait, you understand? What's he got? He's got a hook there.
Yes, sir.
You understand? When a man goes up to trap, what's he do now? He mixes truth with falsehood. He couldn't trap nothing, no animal. You understand? If it's obvious, he mixes truth with falsehood. In the trap, he's got something enticing to attract their attention. Sometimes traps are designed, and you got to be careful of these kind of traps. Only one way in, but no way out. Now, if you get in one of them kind of traps, now you understand?
Yes, sir.
And you try to get out, and you can't get out. You follow me?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand? This is what happened to Yaqub's followers. So when they came back now, they came back unalike. Now, they didn't lost. God's people, and they have a fear for God. You understand? They respect Allah. They respect His laws. Now they have learned to disrespect Him and don't have no fear. They lost their fear. You'll see what I'm leading up to in
Yes,
just a
sir.
few
Take
minutes.
your time.
But the point I want to make clear to you, that all of Yahoo's followers were dissatisfied.
Yes, sir.
He didn't have no satisfied followers with him, with the king. Everyone was dissatisfied with the king, with the rightful king. See, Yahoo wanted the king's place. They were satisfied with Yahoo, but who was not the rightful king, but dissatisfied with the rightful one. Now, I want to give you some little wisdom here directly from Elijah Muhammad. Instruction given to the minister's class. My dear brothers, followers and laborers with me, in the name of our Savior, the Almighty Deliverer of the lost founds, the Almighty Allah, in whom the world has not yet known as yet, but will shortly. That's right, stick around a little while longer. You will know shortly. It is you and I who have said that we know him, and are his witness, to make known his name among those who are sleeping in sin and ignorance, and enter the school of preparation, that we may be found worthy of him when he returned to put us on his book as laborers fitted for the cause of righteousness. I want you to take note of what he said there now. Qualify yourself, prepare yourself, and qualify yourself so that when he returns, in other words, you aren't in this position yet, but when he returns, that you will be qualified to be chosen by him as one of his laborers. Think over this now, what I'm saying to you, brothers and sisters, in other words. Remember what I told you, like what Mama told me? I haven't even started my real work yet. They think my work is finished and I haven't even started my real work. How could someone say we are continuing with this work or we are rebuilding this work when he said I haven't even presented this yet? If that was his real work, he wouldn't have allowed no one to tear it down in the first place. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
I want to make you as wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Just because you are few, don't think that the few don't mean anything. The few have always been the rulers.
That's right.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
The few have always been the ones that were saved, the only ones saved.
That's right.
The majority has never ruled. Think about this now. The main rulers of the whole entire universe. And only 12 men. 12 black men. 12 makes a ruler, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
Just think about this now. 12 men ruling and controlling the whole entire universe. And one of them by his own self. Don't even need the other 11. Do you understand? Just one controls everything. He allows some others to help him, but he don't need the help. He's independent of their help. So when you're talking about a few, one can handle everything. In fact, everything that you see came from one God. Right?
Yes, sir.
And that one God has the power to bring them forth, and that one God has the power to destroy whenever he feels like it. So you want to be found worthy of him when he returns. To put us on his book as laborers fitted for the cause of righteousness. Wait till you see who returns. Give ear, my brothers and sisters also. Even though this was talking strictly to some men. But I'm saying give ears, my sisters also. And listen diligently to these my words and forget them not. Islam is not to be played with. And those that teach it must be ever mindful of the law. Because ignorance of the law is no excuse. Now we are not ignorant of the law because we have received it not by prophecy, nor was it sent to us in a book, that we might say we could not understand it, or that we failed to receive it. No, but Allah has come to us himself to teach us out of his mouth in the person of Master Tariq Hamzah. Remember what I told you when Arnold first sent me to Cleveland? And I asked him, I said, I was waiting on him to give me a whole lot of literature, you understand, to go with special notes and things and guidelines, in other words, and study guides, you understand. And he said, you know the truth, don't you, brother? Look what he said to me. You know the truth, don't you? I said, yes, sir. I know the truth, sir. Also, look what I said back to him. I didn't say I believe you. was wrong when they first started out, I told you they were wrong, right?
Right.
When some of them came back, pretend like they was coming back, in other words, I said they're still wrong.
Yes, sir.
Why? Because what did I always say they were doing? Mixing truth with falsehood.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Deviating. Right?
Right.
Not standing perpendicular to the square. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, sir.
Lean. In other words, coming at you like a sideline. When a sideline approach, you don't know whether he's coming or going, like the priest in Christianity with the collars on backwards. You understand? Approach look like they're coming and going. You know where they're coming and going, right? They're approaching you this way, but the collars on backwards. They're coming and going at the same time, right? You follow them, in other words. They approach you like I'm coming to you, but you follow them and watch what happens to you. Check with me. Check any place on this planet Earth where the white man has gone with his religion called Christianity, which is a religion also, truth mixed with falsehood, right? And I'll show you the black man suffering and crying, I'm not receiving my rights. What's the cry in South Africa right this minute? That we're not receiving freedom, justice, and equality. Right?
Right.
From who? The Christian rulers. I'm going to tell you how they deceive the people in just a few minutes. So he says it didn't come to us, he come himself. It teaches out of his own mouth in person. When we have seen with our eyes and heard with our ears, and our hands have handled him. I wasn't there when Master Tariq Hamzah himself was here in 1930. I didn't see him. I saw him in his messenger. He said the two of us are one. He said, when you see me, you see all. I saw him and recognized who he was.
That's right.
I shouldn't say was, that's past tense. I recognize who he is.
Right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
From the very beginning, I've been telling you, don't believe on him like Muhammad is dead. I don't care what they showed you.
That's right.
They come to me, and some members of my family come and said, not my direct family here with me now, but some from my first wife. And they told me, I thought you taught us that no one can come back from the dead. I said, yes, I will not back down from that. No one can come back from physical death. I said, but what I'm saying to you is that Elijah Muhammad is not dead as yet physically. One day he will die physically. And when he dies of physical death, he will not be able to return from a physical death because no one has ever come back from a physical death.
Right.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
What I'm saying is that was someone else that they thought was his messenger. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes,
He said that when he dies, Allah promised him that he will be given, his body will be petrified. He said his body will last longer than Jesus. Jesus' body will last for 10,000 years. He's been dead for 2,000 years right now. If nobody doesn't break the glass tomb that he's in right now, over there in that tomb in the secret place in Jerusalem, do you understand? If no air doesn't get to the body, and the body's been embalmed to last for 10,000 years. Just think over this now. He said, but people, this is the last and greatest messenger of God. That means his body will last for thousands, hundreds of thousands of years. They will always be able to come and take a look at it. As long as the earth lasts. As long as the earth stands, they will be able to say, that's what that last and greatest messenger of God will last. Be petrified. Just think over this now. The last and greatest messenger of God. He said, I had to go through what all the rest of the prophets went through in the past and come out victorious. And the last thing that they had to overcome, I got to go through what they call death. Do you understand? And come out victorious. Remember the saying, O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? In other words, you thought you had me. The devil, you thought you had me. You thought you were going to kill me. You thought you were going to see me dead. The devil wishes they could see you like one. They wish he was dead. Do you understand? But he's the Lamb of God that you read up in the book of Revelation. Said he looked like he was dead. Do you understand? What did he say? I am he who was dead, but now I'm alive forevermore. And I've got since I went through that, passed through that degree, I got the keys to hell and death. We don't know how Allah arranged that. with his supreme wisdom. Man, Muhammad's wisdom is infinite. Nothing he can't do. That was easy for him to get his message out up here in a secret manner and make it appear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He has such great power, he could make you think you was at a funeral, and he wasn't at a funeral.
Right.
You think you was at one.
Right.
Do you understand? I'm not talking nothing spooky.
Yes, sir.
He has that power. He has the power to put everyone in a swoon.
Right.
Everybody on the planet Earth go into a swoon, and you wouldn't even know you was in one. Everybody just feel like I felt a little dizzy for a second. You could be in a swoon for an hour. When you come to, you thought it was just a few seconds. You don't know how long. Like when you go to sleep, you don't know how long you slept. Do you understand? In fact, I was talking to one of my brothers here that had an operation on his brain, and he told me that he went into a coma. You understand? And remained there for 7 months. And when he came out of his coma, his wife was sick. She was with him when he went into the coma. And 7 months later, she was with him when he came out of the coma. And he looked at her and he said, "Oh, you're still here?" He thought he'd just been asleep for a few minutes. Been in the coma for 7 months. And wasn't even aware of it. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
In fact, as I look at you, you've been asleep for 400 years.
That's right.
Think about this. You can't remember. I look at you right now. Some of you still look like you're asleep. You came in here sleeping, straightway and go out of sleep. Don't even know what took place in here. So we have a great God we're serving.
Yes, sir.
I'll say a great God I'm serving. I'm sent by a great God. I don't know if you serve him or not.
Yes, sir.
But I know I am.
Yes, sir.
And he knows whether or not I'm serving him. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
He knows I didn't deviate from it.
That's right.
I don't care what you think. I don't know what the people call me. You can call me anything you want to call me. It makes me no difference. If you end up hating me, in other words, then I know I'm the right man.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand? I know I'm a true believer because it said you're going to be hated by all men for my name's sake. So those of you who catch it together, in other words, that's what you're supposed to catch if you're a true believer. What did Jesus say? If you'll be my disciple, you must drink from the same cup I drink from. It's a cup of bitter gall. It didn't say you're going to have to be drinking sweet wine or some sweet juice. No. A cup of bitter gall. I mean, you catch hell. Wake up in the morning with problems. All day with problems. Nothing but problems bothering you all the time. When Master Tariq Hamzah was here for the 3 years he was with us, was he having a wonderful time?
No, sir.
Even being rejected by the people, he come to put you in heaven. Overnight. Had the power to put you in heaven overnight. Look when he comes to arms outstretched. I'll go get my people now. Get them up and all this hell and other words. Clean them up. Take them. I got heaven with them for them. Take them too. And we rejected him. Think of this. One day, he took down like I'm to a church with him. And while he was in the church, one of them jumped up and said, "Jesus, oh Jesus, Jesus." And Master Tariq jumped up and said, "Here I am." And one of the ones turned around and hit him in the mouth and knocked one of his teeth out. His father with him was ready to go take care of him. He wouldn't allow them to do anything to him. But he did that just to show the message you had, how wise you must be. You understand? You can't just get up and tell the people, just come out openly and tell them things.
Right.
You understand? He allowed himself to be put in jail. You understand? And every time he'd go to jail, he said, "Be like Muhammad." Now this is the price you're going to have to pay. Naturally, he had the power to prevent all of this. I'm told that one day he was at a place there and someone was going to poison him. And they put the poison in his drink. When he picked up the poison, he knew it was poison. He told him that someone there had put the poison in, and he drank it anyway.
Yes, sir.
And then nothing happened to him. Just think about it. He knew what the antidote for it was. He knew what it was.
Right.
I'm told he was always drinking. I don't know what that has something to do with it or not, but he was always used to like to drink olive oil. Sometimes he'd drink a whole bottle of olive oil. You understand what I'm saying? He had knowledge of all things. He would take the message around and he would sit and talk all night when he was teaching him. Sometimes he'd be out in his car and teach him all night long. Teach him all about the universe. The message said he took me up into the universe. I don't know how he meant that. But he said he took me all up into the universe and taught me all about the universe. He said, I didn't bring up in it in order for you to know about the universe. I'm teaching you all of this wisdom so you will know who you are. All for the purpose of the knowledge of self. How great you are. back all this wisdom if you take over and teaching the purpose of it to make you know who you are. Think about this now. When God commanded, look what he brought. He brought to you and I the best of his creation. He brought the sun, moon, and the star. When you turn down the best of his creation, what else would he brought to you? The knowledge of it. He said, I have come that you might have life, and might have life more abundantly. Abundantly means an extension of life. I've come that you might have life, that you won't die at such an early age. I've come to give you supreme knowledge and wisdom so you won't be sick. Do you understand? So you won't have time you look up someone and taking you in there and they're cutting something out of you. Do you understand? So you won't be dying at an early before you learn to live. It takes you 50 years to learn some sense on how to before you learn any sense.
Right.
Do you understand? You think everybody's a fool till you get about 50 years old. You think everybody's a fool except you. We don't know what a big fool we were till we get about 50. You understand? And by the time we get about 50, we've been having so much fun. Now we got to pay for the fun. The fun is for a short duration. This is what Dr. Muhammad taught me. He said, seek joy, don't seek fun. Joy lasts forever, but fun has a short duration. So you're having so much fun. Oh, pass me another. Don't give me a simple. Give me a double. Gulp it down, in other words, like a big, long cigarette. Inhale all the smoke, and then pass me another one. Go home staggering. You understand? Go home and eat some nasty pig feet or some chitlins. Sit up in a drunk, eating hog bows. About 40 or 50, now you learn some sense now. Now, you might have borrowed a little bit of money, got your home. Now you're ready to live. And the doctor tells you, well, you ain't got but about 3 more months. You got cancer. You understand? Oh, now you could, I'm not going to smoke no more, I'm going to stop smoking. It's too late. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now I'm like, how much did we stop smoking way back 40 years ago. Stop drinking 40 years ago. You understand? Yes. Not eating no hog. Stop eating hog 40 years ago. No hog. Now I see the results of the hog eaters. Yes. I see the results of the ones that laugh at me. Sometimes I go back to Youngstown, the town I came from, and I never will forget. I went back there and I saw some old man, red man, sitting in the corner all bent over there. And my friend with me, he said, you know who that is, don't you? I said, no. He told me who this, him and I used to play together. This old man, no teeth, hair white, snort, bent over. And when I saw him, he looked at me, how you doing, Tim? I felt sorry for him. He said, you're looking well. I wanted to say the same thing to him, but I couldn't say it. He was looking terrible. Every time I look up, I'm going to the funeral of my friends. Died out like flies. All my rebellious relatives, aunts and uncles and grandparents, fathers, all of them. They started dying like flies. Just think over this now. And I'm watching all this take place. You understand? So I know that he came to bring us life more abundantly if you accept it. Remember now, if knowing the truth is one thing, but putting it into practice is another thing.
Right.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
If you don't put the truth into practice, it won't do you no good.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying to you, brothers and
Yes,
sisters?
sir.
He said, this blessed and only friend of ours, whom was lost, called me into his ministry in August 1932. Not for the work that I have done, nor for the education, because I have not either. That's right, he only went to about the 4th grade in school. You understand? So he said, didn't call for education. And not for my works either, because I didn't have them either. But for his own cause, that I should hear the word of his mouth and go and teach others of his majesty and wonders that he's about to work in the wilderness of North America where we now live. That's what I've been constantly doing since he sent me. He himself, knowing the times and the seasons of all things, put upon me a great work to accomplish, but not without a great reward at the end. That is, if I keep his laws and commands and obey without boasting or priding myself against him who sent me. Now this did he charge me with, to go and make many ministers and send them to all the cities and teach Islam as he has given it to me, adding nothing to it. Listen to this carefully. He sent us now, adding nothing to it, not even taking one atom from it, lest we dilute his holy word and be found guilty of falsifying the truth on his return. Just think about this now. Don't add not one atom to it. Don't take not one atom away, lest you dilute his holy word. Now remember now, this divine wisdom that God brought has the power to raise the dead. What was the purpose of God coming in the first place? Why didn't he send someone? He wanted to make himself known among the people.
Yes,
That he is God and there is no God beside him. Do you understand? That he is the one worthy of worship.
Yes, sir.
In the past, we've been worshiping God. We didn't know what it was we worshiped. We know who it was we were worshiping. You have to admit it when you went down, when we said our prayers, in other words, and I said, oh Lord, oh God. Before I even learned his name was Allah. You understand? Whatever we called it, we didn't know who we was calling upon, did we?
Yes, sir. That's right.
Right now, the whole Orthodox Islamic world over there, when they call upon Allah, go ask them. They don't know who the Allah is they're calling upon. You understand? They just go praying 5 times a day. And you sit there and go, oh Allah, Allah, but they don't a bit know who they're calling upon than the man in the moon.
Right.
They just know that's his name, they know that's the supreme being. But who he really is, they do not know.
Right.
So God has written that God will come on the judgment day and settle all this problem, this confusion. You should be happy that you have some place to go and hear this kind of knowledge. Did you know that men pay money to get just a few degrees of this kind of wisdom? Think about this now. And they only get a little bit of this kind of wisdom. And the most they can get of it is 33 degrees. Do you understand? They call this high degree masonry. They can go from 1 degree, they can buy 32 degrees, and the 33rd degree is an honorary degree. They can't buy that one, but if they have proven themselves, after they go through the 32 degrees, if they prove themselves to be an honorable person, they might be selected and invited in to be honored with that degree. But just anybody can't get it. Do you understand? They have to been a long time studying the 32 degrees, and then if they're found worthy, they're given the 33rd. But I'm told that when they get the 33rd, some of them wish they had never gotten it. They tell them, in other words, that many men commit suicide. They go insane. The devils go insane when they get that degree. Many of them can't handle it. What is this honorary degree that the white man is given at 33 degrees? At 32 degrees, they reveal the secret to him who God is. Allah is the God. Islam is the right religion. Do you understand? They even teach him to greet in the password at 32 degrees is Assalamu alaikum. You could have walked around knowing this. And you can tell that they have some of this knowledge. Don't they wear our emblem? They wear the moon and the star upside down. Right? But they got to add a sword to the top of it. You understand what I'm saying to you? They know what that means. When the sun, moon, and star catches up with them, their head will be taken by the sword. I know what that meant when they heard this man over there in Iran talking to them, telling them, in other words, we're going to start killing them. You keep on killing these Palestinians, start killing the devils all over, and we got them all over. It won't be hard to get to them. Don't you know that's going to cause Frank to leave the East soon? But I'm saying to you, in other words, they already know the truth. But they don't want you not to. But the 33rd degree. They tell them, now you're going to go down the road. He said, before you go down this road, make sure that you want to travel this road because there's no return. Once you enter this path, there's no turning back. You understand? Then what he does at the end of a little journey he takes, which is symbolic. I mean, they do the same thing right in this very building here. You go down this path, and they have jagged swords on both sides. It's built up high. You understand? And once you start down the path, a man comes with a sword in back of him. That means you can't turn back. before he's dead. You can't go to the left. You can't go to the right. And if you reveal the secret, death goes to you. You understand? You reveal the secret, we're going to reveal to you. Your head will be taken by the sword. You understand? So he has to go all the way to the end or die before he gets there. So if he completes the journey, don't turn back. When he gets to the end of the journey, what they whisper in his ear? You are the devil himself. That's a heavy one, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Tell you the devil. Once it reaches your ear, that means you can't turn back. You might wish you hadn't heard it. Then, if he's got $10,000, he can go to the Pope of Rome and give the Pope of Rome $10,000 and go see the body of Jesus, who is now in Omar's temple right now. They handcuff him to two Muslims, take off his shoes before he goes to his holy place, and take him in handcuffs to see the body in a glass tube with mirrors reflecting in 4 different directions, so he won't know the exact position the body is in, so he can't break the glass and destroy the body. Take him in, let him see the body of Jesus. Now the Pope of Rome is in on that secret.
Yes, sir.
Yet he's all out there talking about Jesus Christ died and rose to save his soul. Think about this. The biggest lie that was ever told.
Right. Yes, sir.
And our people, look at our people. Look at our people off into that. You can't tell me I know why Jesus lived. And you can't tell me that big lie because we have his body over there in Jerusalem in Omar's temple. So you are a big lie. We can prove that he's dead, but you can't prove that he's alive. Even if we didn't have his body. How could you produce a man alive that was here 2,000 years ago? Even if it was true, even, and he walked in on the scene. He came to one of your churches. I don't know which one you would go to that would satisfy you. If he goes to a Baptist church, the Methodists don't accept him because they're looking for Methodist Jesus, right?
That's right.
Catholics looking for Catholic Jesus, right?
Right.
The Holy Road is looking for a Holy Road of Jesus. So I don't know which one he go in and please all the people. But whichever one he goes in, picture him in there. And he said, who are you? So I'm Jesus Christ. You mean you're the one that they crucified 2,000 years ago? Yes, I'm here. My wound don't look, you can't. After 2,000 years, they healed up. And they should, in 2,000 years, you shouldn't even see the scar, should you? Look what they did to Master Muhammad when he jumped up and said, here I am. Look what they did to him. Now, if a man was trying to tell him he was Jesus, and I'm 2,000 years old, think about it. You'd ask him, now when were you born? 2,000 years ago. They would call the man to come and get him. And you know what the truth was. Then nobody would believe him. He wouldn't get nobody to follow him. That's a lie, and God would not put nothing like that in his appointment. You understand what I'm saying? So now here we are sitting at the end of the world, and you are about to be deceived by false prophets. We must beware. Of course, when we get to the end, we must beware of the false prophets. They shall rise just before the end, capable of deceiving the very elect of God. Majority of the people will easily be deceived. The false prophets are called great deceivers, masters of deception. They deceive the elect through fiction. You've heard of the term fiction and non-fiction, haven't you? Truth and non-truth. Fiction means that which is false, but carefully invented with truth interwoven. But the whole is intended to deceive. Do you understand? Now, don't approach it with this pure falsehood. Come with the falsehood mixed in with the truth. Meaning that when truth is mixed with falsehood, it's easier to deceive a person than with all falsehood. This is how a magician works. Through illusions and deception, sleight of hand. This is called tricknology. This is what Yaakov taught his followers, the science of tricks and tricknology. Just as a magician tricks his audience and the false prophets trick their followers. This is why all the prophets warn God's people to beware of false prophets in the last days. This is how the people deceive, the devils rather, deceive the people to accept the false religion of Christianity by mixing truth with falsehood. Listen very carefully now. He uses the good name of Jesus Christ to shield his evil intentions of trying to steal the throne of Jesus. So the people will indirectly be looking up to him and worshiping him. And that's what the so-called You don't have no Jesus here to actually see. In the old worship, so they're indirectly worshiping the white man. While he is actually, and this devil is actually the Antichrist. Antichrist, meaning against the real Christ. You understand? Yet pretending like he is the Christ. That's what the Antichrist is. One, he's against the real Christ. But wants to pretend like he is the Christ. All the time, he didn't turn down and give you false teaching about the real Christ. He wants the real Christ's place of honor among the people. So he uses the name of Christ. He uses pictures of Christ and sayings of Christ to deceive the people into following him. Tell a great big old lie, print some old big lie, and he got Jesus' picture there. You understand? Or put some saying of Jesus under the article. Then in the meanwhile, he's saying all kinds of things he wants to say, and the people accept it, you understand? Like the fish accepted the bait, not realizing there's a hook in the bait. I want you to think over the master technology that the devil uses in deceiving the people of God. By using the name, by using the picture, and the sayings of a divine messenger of God. He tricks them to go and look in his direction. Think about this now. The minute people look up and see a picture of Jesus, oh, this must be something wonderful, right? Or this is the sayings of Jesus. I'm going to read this, but now after you get through reading a few of those words of Jesus, now the rest of it, but what he's saying. You forget all about what Jesus said, and 3/4 of what he's written is about himself. Are you picking up on it?
Yes, sir.
No wonder we constantly are reminded by the prophets in the Bible and the Holy Quran. Beware of false prophets beyond God. Are you being aware of false prophets? Look what is written in the Holy Quran about the devil under the name of Iblis. He said, because thou hast actually, you know, understand Iblis, in other words, actually wanted God's place. He wanted to be a leader among the people. You understand? And he was caught up with by God. He'd been deceiving the people, and God had caught up with him. They didn't know it, but God had caught up with him. And the penalty for disobeying God, you understand, is death. The same day that you did, in other words, death. So when he caught up with Iblis, in other words, he didn't want to die. So he asked him, in other words, please grant me respite. You understand? In other words, don't kill me right now. Grant me respite until the time made known. What do you mean till the time made known? In other words, cover me up, cover the secret of who I really am. Hide me. You understand? Until the time that you're going to wake up everybody on the general resurrection day. Keep me hidden. Then after God gave his word, he knows God's word is his bond. Okay, I'll spare you. Look what he come back with. And know that God's not going to go back on his word. Then he answered him like this. He said, because thou hast caused me to remain disappointed. Think about this. I wanted to sit on the throne as the leader and the messenger of God and the leader of the people. But since you've caused me to be disappointed and not let me have my way, I will lie in wait for those in thy straight path. I will go behind the messenger. I will go in front of the messenger. I'll approach him from the left and from the right. Left means I'll come at him wrong. If I can't get them then, I'll approach them right. Think about this. I'll come in presenting things right. Oh, now this is God. This is Jesus. You understand? And we all should love Jesus. You understand? I'll come at you in the right manner. And he said, then I'll go in front of the messenger. I'll come from in front. I'll jump out in front of the messenger. And see how many I get. You understand? Then those that want to be behind the messenger, I'll jump behind the messenger and join in with them. You understand? Then I'll jump over here. The ones that's wrong, I'll jump with the wrong. In other words, I'm with everybody. Understand? I want unity and peace with everybody. And he said, verily, thou wilt find most of them ungrateful. Think about this now. I'm going to deceive them. I'm going to show you, God. I'm going to approach them in all kind of manners, and you're going to find most of them wasn't worth saving no way. They was ungrateful anyway. You know what God answered him? Told him, he said, yes. He said, I'm going to fill hell with many again. I'm going to fill hell with you and all who follow you. I'm going to fill hell with you. I'm going to let you get away with this, but you, at the end of it, I'm going to fill hell with you. So in my conclusion, we're confronted with a situation at the present time in which the true teaching of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad are being subtly changed and sabotaged, which means that the Honorable, the divine word of God himself, brought to the wilderness of North America and left with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad for our salvation, is being destroyed by those who are seeking self-glorification and by those who would sell God's people out to the Arabs and replace the true teaching of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad with a weak, watered-down so-called Orthodox Islam, which they are calling real Islam. They call it real Islam, right? I want to join you on with the real Islam. I want you to keep the same Ramadan with the real Islam. Think about this. Those are the real Muslims. The white Arabs over there. Those are the real Muslims. Just think over this now. How foolish our people are. If God wanted us in Orthodox Islam, he wouldn't have never left heaven and come to hell. He brought Orthodox Islam with him when he came.
Right.
So they're trying to replace the true teaching of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad with this weak, watered-down, so-called Orthodox Islam. Like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he said, I wouldn't give 2 cents for Orthodox Islam. Neither will I. He brought us something far away from there. Do you understand? Something far away. Even their prayer service, in other words. They have to be forced to pray. If someone don't get up early in the morning and start calling them, Allahu Akbar, time to wake up and pray to Allah.
Right.
You understand? They would sleep on. We didn't think about Allah, right?
Right.
They even tell they whip them. Then they right back again at high noon. They call them again. And out there whipping them. Got to whip them out of the shops and things to make them go pray. Do you understand? Have to make them remember Allah. Because they are only Muslims by faith. They are not Muslims by nature like we are. The original black man is a Muslim. You're born a Muslim.
Yes.
We're not asking you to join nothing. We're telling you just to reclaim this. Wake up. When you wake up, you already are a Muslim.
Right.
By nature. Is that clear?
Yes.
What is the purpose of prayer? The remembrance of Allah. Right?
Right.
A Muslim who is a Muslim by nature is always thinking about Allah.
Right.
Whenever you see me, if I'm walking down the street, Allah, I'm thinking about Allah. When I walked in here, I was thinking about Allah. Before I got here, I was thinking about Allah.
Right.
When I woke up this morning, I was thinking about Allah.
Right.
When I went to sleep last night, I was thinking about Allah. When I was dreaming about Allah.
Yes, sir.
All praise be to Allah. And what I was saying, I'm talking about you.
Yes, sir.
Every one of you is a true follower. Isn't that the case?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Think, when you leave here now, you don't leave here and forget about Allah. Someone has to remind you, it's time to remember Allah. Better go pray. Do you understand? What good does it do me to pray in the first place? Get down on the prayer rug and get up off the prayer rug and come and shoot you. Get up off the prayer rug and come and rob you. You understand? Or as I saw some of the Orthodox Muslims, in other words, I'm over there at their mosque on 55th. And so, it's prayer time. They all smoke in the mosque. It's prayer time. They all put the cigarettes, laid them down on the ledges. Got off in the prayer Armenian was off into some, but I mean, I didn't even know that everything was saying. I mean, they was off into some stuff. They were trying to show me. You understand? Get right back off the prayer rug, run and get their cigarettes. Just think about this now. Another one come to me when I was at the mosque, the temple over there on Ashbury. And he come in him all at their rope, how they all got. Oh, yes, brother. Where we are. We can have as much cocaine as we want. We can have as many reefers as we want. Drink as much as we want. That's going to be the hereafter. Many wives as we want, brother. And much money, all we can have everything. I'm listening to the brother talking. When he got through talking, then he asked me, after he telling me all this greatness of what he asked me, he said, oh, brother, can you split it over? I said, brother, if you don't have no car fare, I can offer you the meal. I said, walk, or else don't get no meal. After telling me all this food, and that's the way those Orthodox people are. You see them all walk around in their robes. They got their reefers hid up under there. You understand? They got all kind of oils and scents, in other words, to cover up that they're using dope and smoking cigarettes and drinking alcoholic beverages.
Right.
When you have time, you see them, they're high.
That's right.
Oh, praise God. What they go tell them, holy gestures.
Yes, sir.
He's so high, he's stepping high. When you see them, they come in and make them and bow all down. Woo. I'm telling you, I was talking to one, he's in there debating some things in the Holy Quran.
That's right.
You were there with his son?
Yes, sir.
All of a sudden he said, I'll be right back, I gotta go. I thought he was going to go out there and get something, come back and prove to me something. I'm sitting there waiting back, getting all my things ready for when he comes back. I know he's going to be ready. I looked, he went back up and lit up a cigarette. He couldn't even take time to discuss the Holy Quran. It was smoke time. They have prayer time, smoke time, dope time. You understand? When you hear him say, it's time for prayer, he means it's time to go get him a little nip. Go get him a shot. So you can't tell me that Argument Like Muhammad did not bring us the truth that's going to be in the hereafter.
That's right.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
you can see why Allah wants a new world. So no substitute for the truth. So there's no substitute for the truth which God himself brought for help the so-called Negroes in America. You can't take our people and give them a weak watered down Islam. That's why when you see that many of them running towards our Islam, they don't convert. They don't change them into better people. You understand? They think they're wiser people, but they don't make them better people. And Prophet like Muhammad said, he said, right at the present time, he said, we're not concerned about wearing all these fancy hair clothes. You understand what I'm saying to you? He said, I'm not putting that out. He said, we can change a person's clothes overnight. You understand? What we want to do is get Islam into your heart, into your mind.
Right.
You understand? That takes time. And he said also, he told me, he said, brother, when you put all these, he said, it makes you kind of foreign. If I come in there all wrapped up this afternoon with a robe on, you understand, all dressed up, and had the Holy Quran come in, 4 or 5 guards coming in with me, right away you get suspicious. What's he up to now? He said, you can get in among the people and talk to them in disguise. Where God did in disguise. I can go among the people, they don't know who I am. I can sit there and just start talking to them and listen to them talking. You understand? I can put little things out, they'll pay attention to it. If they don't know who I am, but they know who I am, then they want to argue, debate, they won't pay no attention. You can get closer to our people if you go to them just looking natural, like you're one of them.
Right.
Isn't that what Moses did when he wanted to go get the devils?
Right.
He didn't go in it with his robes on. He didn't go in with his books as some scholar. No, put on some old raggedy things, some old fur wrapped around him. Let his beard go all out for a while, didn't comb his hair, and got down on his all fours, started crawling around among them. They didn't pay him no attention. They thought he was one of them.
That's right.
Then he would look at the one that had a spark of light in his eye, and that's the one he would pull away from the others. No, you tell him, come follow me. When he gets out of the sight of the wild, crazy ones, he stand up. Say, look, stand up. And that way he can teach him knowledge of himself. And then tell him, you go back among the others now. Don't go back there showing off with your new learned wisdom now. They'll kill you. They'll kill us both. Crawl back among them and help me. Go see if you can find, another one that's look like he got a little spark of life in him. He's been wondering about his condition.
Yes.
And pretty soon he gathered up a few followers that way. You understand what I'm saying? You know what Moses had to do after he finally got enough people that have a little power? He had to sleep at night in a ring of fire. You understand? So they wouldn't come and kill him. Otherwise, if he didn't have a ring of fire around, they would try to kill him. That's what we have to do right now. Got to keep a ring of fire out there so you can't get with this so close.
Right.
Or else you get burned up. Go past that fire. Allah can make it prove pretty soon. Make sure you are on the right side. You know how it's like a thing, you know how you choose the sides? After you choose decide, then you get ready to go into the real thing, right? You go play a game. I want this, I want that. You understand? God's choosing sides, and the devil's choosing sides for the war of Armageddon. The war of Armageddon is what? A final showdown between God and the devil. A final showdown between good and evil. A final showdown between truth and falsehood. Not truth mixed with falsehood. A showdown between truth and falsehood. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
One thing about the enemy, the devil, never think about when they're making their plans to deceive the people, to trick the people. God also has plans. Like they had a plan to go out and deceive the people. All right, Allah had a plan to get rid of that type of people and catch them in a trap. They got a trap set for God's people. He has one set for them. Do you understand? Make sure you don't get caught in the trap that God has set for the devils. He set a trap like that out there with Malcolm. I didn't get caught. Many got caught in Malcolm's trap. I didn't get caught in the trap. And later on, he explained to me the wisdom he was using. He said, I never want to go and sit this man down. I sit this man down right away when I find out who he is. In other words, he said, then put all the others out there with him. He said, what I do, I exalt him. I want to see who gravitates toward him, who's with this one. You understand? So they were running and having those secret meetings and meeting with Malcolm, you understand, and worshiping and admiring Malcolm, and just sitting back, watching all this. To make sure they didn't know what the science he was using. They bring Malcolm in, we sit at the dinner table. Oh, here, Malcolm, sit the head of the table. You understand? Oh, here, pray for us, Malcolm. And everybody, it's Malcolm. And all you could hear was Malcolm. Right? Even right now, all you can hear is Malcolm. They don't talk about Elijah Muhammad as much as they talk about Malcolm. And Malcolm was an enemy to Elijah Muhammad. Which means he was an enemy to God. Do you understand? Now, like told me, there's a hypocrite coming forth that will make Malcolm to prophecy look like child's play. So the kind of wisdom that he used with Malcolm, he got some supreme wisdom that's going on out there right now. Whoever that is that's going to make Malcolm the prophet look like child's play, he got a method. Allah has a master trap out there. That's why I said many of you, the elect would even be deceived. They didn't deceive Hamzah. Nowhere along this whole line they ever deceived Hamzah. Not one time yet. Wallace couldn't do it. Malcolm didn't do it. The devil himself didn't do it. Farrakhan not able to do it. And neither can you do it.
Right.
The reason why they can't do nothing with me because I'm not seeking no high place. I'm not seeking a whole lot of power. I don't care whether you want to follow me or not. You see, I talk independent, don't I?
Yes, sir.
If you don't believe me, try me and see. I said, I wouldn't care if every one of you in here get up and walk out. I could go start over again. I could go to some other city and probably have 10 times as many people as this in less time than I'm working with you right now. That what you don't want. Many a person wish they could hear what I have to say right now. Many a person is seeking this kind of wisdom because they're all confused. Go check with all the different followers. They're all confused.
That's right.
Do I sound like I'm confused?
No, sir.
I'm explaining things. I'm explaining the confusion.
That's right.
I'm not confused, and I'm teaching you how not to be confused.
Right.
These things I'm teaching you, you sitting back your own self, wondering and looking at this.
That's right.
How would I know all this if it wasn't being revealed to me? It hasn't been taught to me.
That's right.
Do you understand?
Yes.
See, God and His messengers, they know what's going to happen before it happens.
Right.
Look at the messenger the day Malcolm walked in. The first day he met him, when he walked out there, see that man there? He would be with me for 10 years, and then he'll turn to be one of my worst enemies. On sight, at a glance, he knew him. Do you understand? And we're taught that, how to recognize people on sight. Don't need no whole other time. At a glance. Know who you are, at a glance. Do you understand? And then, as they say, remain silent, only be thought of fool, but speak. And remove all doubt. So long as you feel quiet, we don't know who it is. But the minute they speak, watch them for a while. I mean, like Mama said, he said, watch them, brother, very closely, because they will turn into a devil on you overnight. One minute they're in here with us, acting like this, believers, nothing words, and talking all. They talk so much you can't get a word in your own self, edgewise. Right?
Right.
go get one and bring him in. He hears 2 or 3 lectures. He turns around and wants to teach you.
That's right.
Right?
Right, sir.
Or like those same ones turn into a devil on us. In 24 hours, look up the same person. You look when they start having those secret meetings, start talking against the believers. You understand? Start forming little cliques. They won't be. This is the end of all that kind of foolishness. I don't understand it, because here you come in and we're teaching you undisputable truth. Nobody can't do nothing with it. That which I'm teaching you, look what I have to go up and challenge. What to teach you this truth. I have to challenge almost everyone out there. Right?
Right.
And what I'm teaching you, in other words, they can't win no argument with this, what I'm teaching you. Do you understand? I asked myself, well, you say that, but you have, well, where do I find that in the scripture? Where's that in the Holy Quran? Where's that written?
Right.
Everything that's going on is already written down in advance. Everything is taking place. There's men so wise, they know what's going to happen 25,000 years in advance. Aren't we from the family of those people?
Yes, sir.
You from that tribe? That's what God has come to do with the law. Remember the God tells you what? Put you back into your knowledge, your past knowledge that you used to have. Do you understand? Give you supreme wisdom where you know how to tune in on each other and know what the other one is thinking. Thought transfers, mental telepathy. Those are natural sciences that our people used to possess. After being here for 400 years, eating the wrong food, drinking the wrong drink, and get the wrong spiritual guidance, food, and the wrong physical food, then we've died a mental death. So we've lost our power. Every once in a while, a little bit of it is retained. Once in a while, you tune in on each other. Once in a while, you know what the other's going to say or do before they do it. Don't you experience that once in a while?
Yes, sir.
You understand? Oh, I was just getting ready. How do you know that? I was just getting ready to tell you that. You understand? How'd you know to bring me that? I was just getting ready to call you and tell you. You walk in with, well, you sent the message and they picked it up. It was natural, but you don't know how you did it. Well, that's what all of us come to teach you the science of that. But he's not going to teach the enemy that kind of wisdom and knowledge. The book that he went after, he said the eyes of this world is not to even look at that book. That book will only be open in the hereafter. Those are the lucky ones that go into the hereafter. Then you will be taught all this wisdom and science and knowledge. If they brought it out right now, the devil himself would take it from you. The hypocrites would take it from you and rule you. In fact, Allah has to keep even the knowledge and the science of how he's going to deliver us. Has to keep it all a total secret. Because what we would do, we go mess it up and make the job 10 times as much complicated as it already is. So therefore, we have to walk around not knowing what's going on ourselves. And to keep the devil from knowing who is who, he just puts them all in there, just give you all hell. Throw you in the fire. And you think it's the real thing. When you throw everything in the fire, the real thing is the gold don't. The fire don't hurt the gold, does it?
Right.
So when you say you're a true follower, you automatically go into the fire. You see different ones come and go, but they can't stand the fire. So they wander back to what they think is a cool place. They don't realize pretty soon what they thought was cool is going to be a hot place. So no substitute for the truth that God himself brought will help the so-called Negroes of America. This is why I don't even like Muhammad said, not to take one atom away from the message, and don't add one atom, or we would be guilty of the divine wrath of our law. Not only have some come forth sabotaging the divine words and works of God that don't like to get our midst, for a period of 40 years, proving himself that he is who he said he is. Just think, after 40 years now, proving that he was who he said he was, challenging everybody, right?
That's right.
Offer the $10,000 reward if you can find anything wrong with what he's teaching, if you prove it wrong.
That's right.
Nobody tried to collect the reward, did it?
That's right.
Now, immediately after he's gone, look how the hypocrites have come forth. Slandering his name, dishonoring him, rejecting him as the last messenger of our law. And when you reject this message, you reject our law himself. You understand? And giving to us a God that we don't know nothing about, some mystery God. To take the place of the real God, the proper name is our law, but never spook. He's a black man. So with the hypocrites and false prophets trying to shove the honorable Elijah Muhammad under the rug, and trying to shove the truth as he taught it under the rug, and trying to shove the God who brought the truth to him in the person of Master Tariq Hamzah under the rug, then it's time for the elders to come forward who know the truth and were taught the truth by the honorable Elijah Muhammad himself in person, trained by him, prepared by him, and sent by him. I am one of the elders.
Yes, sir.
I've got 40 years of experience, 40 years in your midst of the people of the word, proving that I am. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm not preaching to you something different than I always taught. The same thing I taught 40 years ago, that's what I'm teaching today. So I was sent to lift the honorable Elijah Muhammad's name up at this time and to present his true teaching and prove who he really is. Hope I would like to stand by and allow someone to come in and sabotage my messenger. He's been talking, spent all this time putting this much in me, and I stand by and watching someone sabotage that I don't even tell you about. I've got to tell you about it regardless of the price that has to be paid. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
I'd rather face my enemies coming at me with audible shotguns than have to face Allah for not telling the truth. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If my enemies come at me with shotguns, I have a God that has power over the shotgun and the man with the shotgun. You understand? Over their brains, over the iron ore that the guns are made out of. You understand? I have a God that has power that the iron ore obeys him.
That's right.
You know, like Mama told me that. To make sure I understood what kind of protection I had. Think about this now. See, even if they do come at you like that, he said Allah has power over the man's brain with the gun. He has power over the bullet in the gun. He said even the bullet in the gun will obey him. Then he went a little further. He said the iron ore that the gun is formed out of, the atoms that form the iron ore, those atoms obey him. He said no harm can come to you unless it be the will of Allah. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
And that's what is offered to you and I, to all of the true followers. I want you to know you are offered divine protection. It's written in the scriptures talking about you and I. It said, not one hair of your head shall be harmed. Think over that. Not one hair shall be harmed if you're a true believer. He said, you don't have to carry no weapons of no kind. You don't have to carry no shotguns and have guns in your home. You understand? Registered or unregistered, you don't need no guns. The gun, if Allah intends harm for you, in other words, the gun won't protect you.
Right.
Because you don't have to see the assailant when he comes with the gun. The assailant you can be walking down the street right now. The person that you see getting ready to pass you could turn around, boom, 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 right in the face, right?
Right.
Or they could be somewhere with a sniper's rifle, right? Here you are, you got two guns, bodyguards all around you. You see it happen right now.
Right.
And here you got a man that's a half a mile away. You understand? He shoots you right between the eyes at a half a mile away. They have bullets, guns that powerful, don't they?
Right.
He can draw you right here. He has a telescopic lens on this thing. He can draw you right up into the muzzle.
Right. That's right.
When he pulls the trigger, your forehead is right up against the muzzle of his rifle. Think over this now. Just that powerful. So therefore, that means we need our law. We do not carry no guns. I have never carried, not even a penknife. He said, Allah said, don't even carry a penknife here for you to protect you. He said, I will protect you. Do you understand? If you want to try to protect yourself, then go carry your knife. You feel safer with your knife or your gun, go ahead and try to protect yourself then. He said, when Allah disarms you, you understand, he sends you up against a well-armed enemy, then it's incumbent upon God to protect you, right? Remember now, my enemy's got a gun or a knife. Now God took my gun away from me. I would have had one too. He took mine away from me. I know how to shoot one too. I got all kinds of, I can show you, I got records where I was in the old devil's army. Expert. He with a 45. Expert with a rifle. Machine guns and mortars. I've been taught all that. Think about this now. So I know how to use one. But he told me don't carry them. So I go about unarmed. Now okay, so here come my enemy. He's got a gun. So now my God is to protect me now. If I got my gun, I can protect myself. I try to do it, right?
Right.
For 40 years, I never carried no weapons. I'm still here. He didn't let not one hair of my head. He didn't let my enemies harm not one hair of my head. For 40 years, I've been teaching the white man the devil himself. I've been teaching about black devils and white devils. Right? And all of them have guns. The white devil and the black devil is carrying guns. Right? I'm not carrying none. I got something more powerful. I got the truth. If I got the truth, that means I have God himself with me. And so do you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Put on the whole armor of God. The helmet of salvation. You understand? The gospel of the truth. Charge yourself with the gospel of the truth. You understand? The sword of the Spirit. It's a two-edged sword, right?
Right.
It cuts going and coming. That's all you need, brothers and sisters. If you are a true follower of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, it's not what you'd expect of God. If God himself is on the scene, it's not what you'd expect of God. Think about this now. When God comes, you put yourself in his hands. And he will deliver you. And he's promised you and I that. He keeps his word. What did he promise us? Heaven while we live.
Right.
Money, good homes, and friendship in all walks of life. Look at all the people here in this city that should be sitting in these seats right now, hearing this wisdom. But instead, they would rather go out to a ball game. They'd rather go to the front row. They'd rather sit up there and watch the devil on TV. And just think of it. And some of you join in with them. You only are asked to come out on Sunday a couple hours. You think about this. On Wednesday night, if you're registered, you come out on Wednesday for a couple hours. All the rest of the time, you have for yourself. Do anything you want to do. Yet you don't never have time for Allah. Well, as you look out and see the great condition he's bringing upon the world right now, terrible things, don't be surprised now when you look up and see DEATH at your doors and your windows. At a time you should be at the temple. If you're able to be here. You understand? You may think it's safer somewhere else. Like I heard one sister tell me, well, what I do, the reason why, because my house, I'm afraid somebody will break into my house while I'm gone out at night. They'll break into your house in the daytime while you're there.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
And shoot you in your own house.
Right.
They'll come in and break in and rape you right in your own house if Allah don't protect you.
Right.
I feel safer in the temple than I do in my house.
Right. That's right.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Allah will protect his temple. You understand what I'm saying to you? He'll protect a true believer, and he knows our hearts and our minds. He knows what we're thinking. The Holy Quran says Allah knows what the mind suggests. So if you're sitting here right now as some old phony hypocrite, or sitting here as an FBI agent, Allah knows what your mind suggests. You can tell the condition of the world right now, that it won't be long now. The way things are going right now, if Allah did not intervene, something terrible happened to us anyway, wouldn't it? Everywhere you look, there's problems and troubles everywhere, isn't it?
Right.
And Allah, in the meanwhile, make sure Allah keeps us close to him. In other words, he puts you in little tight binds so you won't get in love with the world. You notice when Allah blesses you, you've got plenty of money. Someone's got plenty of money. Got a nice new car to drive down the street in, a pocket full of money. You understand? They don't have time. You go invite them to the temple. Oh no, I'm invited out this afternoon to such a place. I don't have time. I'm so busy. I talked to one brother. I met him out. He used to come to the temple. I met him over here in one of these building squares. I said, brother, I haven't seen you in a long time. I'd like to give you a big. Oh, right, brother. I'm an electrician. I want you to know I'm a big time electrician now, and I really don't have the time. I got so many appointments. I said, okay, brother. You forgot the God who makes them appointments. You forgot the God who's making all that possible. Don't have time for him now. He blessed you with this wonderful job. Now you don't have time for Allah. You think over this. He should find some time.
Right.
You mean to tell me you can't even find no time for Allah? I'm so busy being successful in the devil's world that's threatened to be destroyed at any minute. Come out of her as written, you my people, that you be not partakers of her plagues and her sins. Do you understand? If there was a time that you make some arrangements to get closer to Allah, You better get close to Allah right now. This is the end of the world as we have known it. And these hypocrites are claiming they're going to rebuild the nation of Islam. They're not going to rebuild nothing. Nothing, no grafted teachers. Remember now, those dissatisfied people, once they followed Yaqub, he made them unalike.
Right.
Do you understand? They're no longer the same no more. Right. Took away from them the fear of the real God from them. Fearless type of people. Right. Terrible type of people. They're not going to get away with it. Allah always gets what he goes after. And what I want you to think of, brothers and sisters, what little things you see some of them doing out here, that don't mean nothing. The solutions are probably divine. You're pointing out to them earlier. This is the divine solution to our problem. You understand? And what Allah will do when he gets ready to general resurrection, he can wake up all the people out there. If you took all the people that say they believe right now, whether hypocrites or not, if we took them all and put them all in a lake of fire, all of us went into a lake of fire. Look how many people Allah still has out there. He can wake them up. He has the power to wake them up. Right. Some of these which you look at right now, some you call them some blind, deaf, and dumb person, some ignorant person. You might call them some crazy person. Allah can take that same person you call him crazy. When you look up one day, he can make him rule you, and you'll be the one crazy. Right. Do you understand? He has power over his people. He has power over the minds. He can turn the mind to thinking what he wants it to think. So remember now, we've got about 30 million black people. You understand? Allah can reach out there. He could get rid of half of them. 3/4 of them. And still have plenty left. Right? Out of 30 million. In fact, 144,000 out of the 30 million. Look how many people is left to be going to the lake of fire. Right? Or if you took 144,000 who say they believe it, look how many people is left for him to save and make them into any kind of people. He want to make them into a good people. Some of the worst. Remember, all of us out here at one time, weren't we just like the rest of them out there? Right. Sometimes you forget. Sometimes look at the old drunk coming. You forget you used to be a drunk too. Right. You understand? Right. Look at it, smoking them old chain, smoking them cigarettes. You used to chain smoke cigarettes too. Right. And might still be doing it. Do you understand? Right. Look at him out there, dancing and carrying on out there like that. Didn't you dance and carry on out there? What do you see any of them out there doing on what that you didn't do or want to do? Some of you still want to do it because it looks like they're having so much fun. That's why we have a hard time with our children. They look like that world looks alluring, doesn't it? Well, I'll let you have your way. You have your big pretty Cadillac with the top rolled down, cigar in your mouth, fire on one end, on the other end. Your Chihuahua dog sitting in the back seat. And you wouldn't have time for nothing. You know it's the truth. In order to save such fools as we, he just take these things away from you. Now, they put you in such misery that you wish I wish I could leave here right this second. But if you had plenty, you wouldn't be saying that. You'd be saying, well, whatever's the will of Allah, that's okay. Put you in a hell of a condition, you wouldn't be talking about the will of Allah. I'm going to leave right now. Do you understand? If you had a place to go, you leave. Some of you leave out of here right now. Right. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Yes, sir. So I thank you for coming. Be glad that you have a place that you can go to listen to the truth. And don't let no false prophets trick you in these last days. You understand? Well, let them take you out there and grab you and make you unalike. Once they grab you and make you unalike, remember now, after they made unalike, a curse was put upon them. Right? Right. The minute that I want to take note now, the minute that Adam and Eve tasted of the tree of good and evil, all fruit and truth, right? Look what the tree was now, one of good and evil. Now I know both ways. That's what happened with Wallace's followers. You understand? Before all the Elijah Muhammad, everybody they kind of respected and feared all this messenger, right? But Wallace comes and told him, don't pay no attention to my father. He's not no messenger. You're not going to surely die. Think about this now. But it said the same day, the day you do this, you die. Then he took them over there and made them unalike. You understand? Changed them around. Took all the books. Did like Alexander the Great. When the black man burnt down all his library, burnt down his books, threw his books away. Everything pertaining to the greatness of the black man. Burn it up, destroy it, so they wouldn't know nothing but what Alexander wanted them to know. He could control and rule, you understand? Wallace did that, took all the books. They went so far to take the nationals off the uniform, to throw the nationals away. Think about this now. Took all the lessons, took all the letters that we wrote to the Savior Day letters. If God had told his messenger, if you misplaced one of these Savior Day letters, think about this now. Savior's letters, not Savior's letters. If you misplaced one of them, think about this. You might lose your place in the hereafter. Now here comes Wallace, takes all of them, puts them in there, burns them up. Think over this. Took all the books, everything, all the history, got rid of all of it. You see, but he did not know that there was some walking around with history in the forehead. I have it in my forehead.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So him burning the books up, that don't mean nothing. Some of us have it in our forehead. I'm a walking encyclopedia of the message.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand? A walking dictionary, walking history book of his teaching. And some of you are the same. If you're not, you're becoming the same.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand? So he could not destroy his spiritual words.
That's right.
He couldn't take the truth that was in our forehead. He couldn't take that away, could he?
No, sir.
But he tried it. Took all his followers. Remember now, then after they were highly dissatisfied. After they came back, what happened to them? After Yahweh made them unalike, and they came back into heaven, what happened to them? Did God accept them?
No, sir.
Threw them all out. And they ended up in the hills and caves of Europe. This time they're going to end up in the Belgian Congo. The jungles of the Belgian Congo.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand? And that's where they should be. And the Holy Quran says, as often as one hide is burned, he would exchange it for a new hide. In other words, that means every generation that comes, everything that comes forth from you, I'm going to punish you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Think about this now. All your children and your children's children, when they come forth, they're going to be punished because they came forth from you who rejected God, this messenger, this last day. Allah's angry. You can tell he's angry now. Where he's coming down through that south there. I mean, in fact, they say, I didn't get a chance to hear someone give me the report. The wife gave me the report. Said the devil said, it looked like some B-52 bombers have come down. And they're dropping bombs all over the place. And every day the news that comes in is bad news. Can you imagine what's bombarding the presidential desk? Every hour. Oh, have you seen this, Mr. President? He ain't even read the other report where they just destroyed something over in the other part. And they're calling it's a disaster area. You understand? He's got so many disasters that he's saying all of America will soon be a disaster area. Come out of her, you my people, unless you want to partake of them same things happening to her. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
What I'm saying to you, the little bit of time we have left, it's not no time for foolishness. It's not no time for sport and play. There's not no time for arguing and bickering and saying, well, I'm confused. If you're confused after 40-some, after God and this messenger been here for 40-some years, then you will die in your confusion. What right do you have to say you're confused? You understand? You got the books, Message of the Black Man.
That's right.
How He to Live.
Right.
Fall of America. Right? What's the other one? And our Savior has arrived. And you got me, the true disciple of Elijah Muhammad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You got me too. If you think I'm confused a little bit or a whole lot, present to me what you call confusion. I guarantee you I have the answer to bring you out of that confusion. Whatever you're confused about, present it to me. Present it to me right this second if you want to. If you're confused and don't know which way to go, raise your hand. I'll bring you out of confusion so fast you will say, I wasn't confused. I thought I was confused. I guarantee it. Because I am not confused.
That's right.
What do I look like being confused? I've been sent by God's last and greatest messenger. The great God whose knowledge and wisdom is infinite and has power over everything. I'm from that man, that one greatest messenger that ever come to the earth. He sent me. That's right, I'm not self-sent. I didn't appoint myself this position. Some appointed themselves, and the only time Muhammad left, I don't know who told Wallace he's supposed to do what he did. He appointed himself. It didn't work. Now, Mr. Farrakhan, maybe he is. He didn't appoint himself. He said he's the messenger now. I heard a brother come and tell me, oh, the Honorable Farrakhan, the messenger of Allah. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. Well, maybe he is. If you think he's the messenger of Allah, go follow him. I'm not telling you not to. Don't nobody go out here and say, I did not say that I said, you can't follow Farrakhan, you can't follow Wallace, you can't follow the devil. If the devil comes to me and says, did you tell these people they're not supposed to follow me? I said, no, sir, Your Honor. I told them, go ahead and follow you if they want to. I told them, you are the devil himself. And if they want to follow you, they're most welcome to do it. I will not fight them. I won't argue with them. You can have them. If you want to, if you have claim on any of them up here with me, the two followers, I'll let you come up and you come and pick them out. Say, this one and this one and this one belongs to me. I won't argue. I'll say, take them away, sir. You say they're yours, then take what belongs to you. You understand?
Yes, sir.
But I will also turn around and say, now, this one and this one, that. They don't belong to you.
Right.
You can't take them. He'll say, I don't want nothing that belongs to God. I only want what belongs to me. And he said, then Johnny, I know you belong to me because I've been watching you for the last 2 years, day and night. Do you understand? And since the Sayyidi Muhammad, I've been watching you too, day and night. So I know you belong to me. So come on out of there, Sayyidi, or else you want me to read the report? Oh, no. I don't want nobody to know what I've been doing but you. You understand?
Yes.
God only wants his own. Right?
Yes, sir.
And the devil wants his own, and he's entitled to it. Everyone that belongs to the devil, he's entitled for you to go with him. What would God look like arguing with someone now that belongs to the devil? Do you understand? If God don't want nobody to belong to the devil, you know I'm just a little servant. I don't want no one to belong to the devil. So if you're the devil's property, in other words, I'm sorry if I've offended you in any kind of a way, the devil's property. Go back to the devil and be happy. Is that clear? Some of you, if you're FBI agents, we don't want to keep a secret. I don't know why you take a position like that, but we want this told. At the proper time, I will. Some of you will say, why don't you, Hamzah, go out there and at the proper time do this? All things ought to be known at all times. There's a certain time, there's a time for all things.
That's right.
You understand? Nobody was to know who God's last messenger was until today. 2,000 years ago when Jesus was here, they weren't supposed to know that. They weren't supposed to know who the real God was until it was time. When the time comes, he revealed himself.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Right.
He said, here I am. You understand? When the time came. But not before time. And then certain other things will be revealed. Even some of you, in other words, who you really are. You're anxious to know when the time comes. You know who you really are. When the time comes. You might be a little suspicious that you're somebody, and you may be somebody great. Some of you are someone great. But to protect you, he can't let you know your own self. You understand? Someone would come and do harm to you if they knew who you were before it's time for them to know. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
And sisters, I want you to know, I know you're going through some terrible hardships. Our law has a great reward waiting on you. I want you to know this. I mean, you are the love of civilization in the black man without you. In other words, we can't exist without you. The black man, with all of his power and all his greatness, he can't reproduce himself from himself. He has to have you. You understand? You are made for him to reproduce himself. You are made for his comfort. You understand? You have a great purpose, and you're not to be doing the things that you've been doing, down on your hands and knees and scrubbing and working and making yourself all ugly and deforming yourself out of shape, working hard like men working. That's not what your role is. Your role is to keep house and to take care of the children. You understand? Take care of your husband. You understand? You're here for a great, great purpose. You're here to be put in palaces and mansions.
Yes,
and even have others waiting on you. That's right. They got all kind of people all over the earth. You understand? Black people. They're not on a plane as high as you. It said they will end up tending your vineyards. You understand? Cleaning your house and taking care of you. Think about this now. You don't have to do nothing but just stay pretty all the time. Just stay beautiful. And take care of your husband and your children. That's waiting on you. All your tears are going to be turned into laughter and joy pretty soon. I'm told that when you see these mansions, some of the situations, you might just pass away, just your heart failure. When you see, after going through so much hell, when you see what our Lord has for you, in other words, you just swoon away. You won't even be able to stand. We've been through so much hell right now. You don't have to take it. Just get this devil off our back. Right where we are right now. Get the devil off our back. We think we was in heaven. But the joy that waits your sisters and brothers is nothing compared to the suffering you've been going through. I'm told that you won't even remember. When you're 6 miles out away from this place, you'll forget it. So much joy will be in your heart, you won't even remember that you was over here in this condition. Just think over this. In fact, you can see how that can be even right now when you have a great problem. When the problem is solved, you understand, Allah blesses you. You forget all about it. You're so carried away with the blessing, you forget that you had all these problems. Sometimes you sit around and you say, oh, I remember when I had this and I was in that condition. You understand? That's what awaits you right now. Heaven while you live. And don't think I'm just making this up. I tell you, this is all the prophecy we prophesied of it. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, sir.
Remember Jesus' words? He said, in my Father's house there are many mansions.
That's right.
If it were not so, I would have told you.
That's right.
Think over this. I go to prepare a place for you, that where I am, you may be also.
That's right.
You will sit at the table with the Lord himself in heaven. That don't sound like something spooky, does it?
No, sir.
Many mansions. Like Muhammad told us, they're valued at $17 million. And then, so you get a chance to enjoy them, injected with a serum to turn your age back to 16. It's in a secret place on the earth. Not up in the sky, but a secret place on the earth. You understand? And that's where Allah, I'm quite sure that's where the messenger, I'm quite sure he's over, while we're over there, word is suffering. He's the first one that's worthy to have his age turned back to 16.
That's right.
For 14 years he's been gone. I'm quite sure Allah has been reverting him back to 16. He said, when you see me in my new body, he spoke of that. I'll be prancing. Think about this now. In my new body, I'll have my hair back again. When he asked me one day, he said, you know why there's no hair up there right now? In the middle of my head, he said, too much fire up there. No hair can't grow in fire. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
But I'm quite sure he's over there getting things ready, preparing things. And this is the family of so-and-so's house, already arranged it. Waiting. While you're here bugging out, worried right now, he's getting everything ready. When the time comes, he'll come and get you and take you there. When the time comes, and I'm not speaking out of some foolishness or desire or trying to get you to, it makes me no difference whether you want to believe or not.
Yes.
I'm just telling the true believer, the true seeker, and I'm telling you what is prepared, and it is the truth.
Yes, sir.
I do not mix truth with falsehood.
That's right.
Do you understand? When you try to deceive a person, you mix truth with falsehood. But I'm talking independent. I can talk all truth because I don't care whether you follow me or not.
Right.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
If you don't believe me, everybody stay home next week.
No, sir.
Then I'll come back about 3 more times, everybody stays home, then you won't see Hamzah no more. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
And I won't be in hell. I assure you of that. I thank you. Are there any questions? If you got a question, ask it. Sister, do you have any questions? Do you believe you heard the truth this afternoon? What about you little sisters back there? Some of you are kind of hard-headed. In other words, you think you know it all. You got some questions you want to ask? I didn't hear no bad reports. I asked the mothers to let us know if any of you children weren't real good this week. I didn't hear no bad reports. That means all of you were good? Well, all praise is due to Allah. What about these little young brothers over here? I see them grinning. Do I have to get my big belt out from behind this curtain up here this week? They were all good? Let me see them. Stand up, little brothers. Always stand up. Fruit, stand up there. Let me see. One's asleep. Don't wake him up. Stand up there, there's attention there. Heads up, shoulders back, look straight ahead. Assalamu alaikum. You may be seated. Didn't you look good though?
Yes, sir.
That's our future. If we can keep them out of the hands of the devil, that's our future.
Right.
I'm proud to see them. I never forget how proud I was when I had that school and I saw them little brothers like that all dressed up in their suits coming to school that first day with their briefcases, smiling just like they're smiling now, had their briefcases and coming through that archway there with the sun, moon, and star, get off the school bus. I don't think there was a man as proud as I was to stand there to see them little children coming like this. And then to see them come and tear all that down. That's heartbreaking. I know how hard it was to set up such a school. They tore it down, but they didn't have the knowledge to rebuild it. That's where our children belong. If all of our children, we have a beautiful Muslim school here right now, we wouldn't have no problem with nothing. When we had our school, we didn't have no discipline problem, did we? We didn't have no dope problem. There are no kind of problems in our school. And one day, all that will be that's in the future for you. You have a beautiful school to go to, and all the boys go. The boys don't mingle with the girls. You have the attention. The minister told me you got the direct attention of the boys. You can't get the attention if a little girl sitting beside you. Back and she look at you and smile at you. You don't get nothing done. And the same way with the girls. All girls there. So they come there strictly for business. There's time enough. When you reach a certain age, there's time enough. So I mean, here you talking about no boyfriends and girlfriends. Is that clear? Wait until you accomplish something first. So we don't want to hear none of that talk about no boyfriend and a girl. What can you do? What can a boyfriend do with a girlfriend? Nothing. He can't put you in no house. He can't buy you no food. He can't buy you no clothes. So what do you mean as a boyfriend? So stop talking all that foolishness. We don't want to hear that talk around with the juniors. Even when you're 15 and 16 years old, you shouldn't be talking all that talk right now. He's my boyfriend. Think about this. You don't become a man till you're 40. By the time you're 40, you got a house to put a woman in. You got something to offer the woman. You say, but I don't want no 40-year-old woman. Well, you don't have to get no 40-year-old woman. Go get an 18-year-old when you're 40. Do you understand? And you say, well, what's going to happen? Well, all the ones when you reach 18, sister. When you reach 18, you need a man that's going to put you in a home. A little boy don't have no home to put you in. All he has is a little cockroach den for both of them to go to get a little stink hole to cockroach den. So remember, when you're talking boyfriend, you're talking cockroach den. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So be patient, all right? And then pray to Allah. You see, all this is going to change, and Allah will have someone. He'll have men there for the women and women there for the men. He'll have the right mix there for you. You understand? Where you can live in peace and raise your family in peace and have the right education, right everything for your children. Right now, we're trying to qualify to go into that word. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So since we're trying to qualify, be careful what you do to Allah. He told his laborers that under these instructions, be careful what you do to Allah and my little lost sheep whom I found. Did you not know that I have you charged for those in whom you have authority? Do you hear those words?
Yes, sir.
I must be careful of my duty to all my little lost sheep whom he found. In other words, he's telling me, you don't belong to me. You belong to him.
Right.
So be careful how I treat you.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, sir.
And every minister was given those same instructions. My little lost sheep whom I found. I've got you charged for those. I've got authority over you, then I'm charged with you if I mistreat you. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Who wouldn't want to serve a God like that, like Muhammad and his messenger like
That's
that?
right.
I'm not going to give you another lecture, although you need another lecture, but I'm not going to give you one.
Yes, sir.
Next Sunday, come back and bring somebody with you, all right?
Yes, sir.
This is beautiful teaching, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
All right, now before we dismiss, we got to pay the rent. Hold on. In fact, when you see the scripture of God, they described him once sitting on that throne, said he was beautiful, like a sardine stone, rainbow over his head, in other words, his skin so beautiful, in other words, think about it, looked like it wasn't even real. Eyes sparkling, everything about him just sparkling. Divinity and power and beauty. Master said, Allah did not make himself ugly. He made himself beautiful. And he said, our people, the devil has made us ugly in the past 20 years. And he said, he's going to make you so beautiful. Think about this now. He said that when they will admire your shadows. Isn't that something to think about? Make you such a beautiful people. He said he's going to make you the wisest, the most beautifulest, the wealthiest, the healthiest people that ever walked the planet Earth. That's what is offered to you and I. So get a picture of this, of our beloved great messenger. If you don't have a Savior Day speech, get a Savior Day speech. You better get yourself some things together. In other words, in case you can't come out of your house, you'll have something going. Remind you, all this can happen. Things can change in the twinkle of an eye. The woman's place in this song. There's some lectures on here by Captain Baina, who was taught by the Army Life Muhammad for 7 years. And there's 1 or 2 articles in there by myself on the woman's place in Islam. So if you don't have one of those, make sure you get that article. And then we have some delicious food we're going to serve this afternoon. Delicious refreshments. For dinner they have ocean perch fillets, mashed potatoes and gravy, green sweet peas, and carrots and wheat roll. They have sandwich, they have fish sticks, cheese, lettuce, and tomato on wheat bread. They have pizza, a variety of pizzas made by the Shabazz pizza farm there. Him and his wife, they make the best pizza in the whole city. They have a variety of cheese, vegetables, and kosher beef sausage there. They have a salad bar with a variety of fresh produce for you to choose your own. The salad to your liking. They have Asiatic bean soup, with homemade wheat muffins. And when you think about it, that recipe for the homemade bean soup, or the Asiatic bean soup, God himself brought that to us. The recipe for the bean pie, God himself, he said, this is what we eat in heaven. When you eat the bean soup and the bean pie, you're eating something that they eat in heaven. Nobody even heard of a bean pie like that before they come to Matthew Garage.
That's right.
Do you understand? In the bean soup, look what it has. Everything that the body requires. You could live off of that indefinitely. Took us off the old white bread and taught us to eat the wheat bread. Eat things that's natural that look like you. Sugar in its natural state is not white. Right? Wheat in its natural state is not white. Is it? Tell us how to eat to live. Just think over that. How to eat to live. So we have these delicious things out there for you. The homemade wheat muffins. And many delicious homemade desserts for you to choose from. Cakes and pies. And mixed fruit drinks, coffee, tea, and milk. Remember, all proceeds go to the building maintenance fund. For everyone, while it's still day, because soon it will be night. There's no need to work. It's almost at any minute now. The moon will eclipse her light. And when the moon eclipses her light, in other words, darkness is going to be settled on the land. All air communication will be cut off. It's written that there will be a time there will be darkness all over. You know they have a period like that in Alaska right now, where 6 months of the time is dark. All the time. 6 months of light. But this time, our Lord is going to cause it to happen. He said, when it happens, then the seas and waves will be roaring the east prophesied. Big tidal waves are going to have effect upon the oceans. Big tidal waves will rise up, and then the islands will flee away. Just picture you out there on an island. Here come mountains of water coming after the island. I would want to be on the Hawaii Island where the devil has got as his playground. I'm quite sure they will be washed away any day now. The islands that will flee away. Earthquakes, everywhere you look right now. Everywhere you look, the earth is trembling, shaking. What's the devil being warned? Get off my back. Get off my back. And the worst earthquake that ever been on the earth is on the way here to America. Now, we don't know when it's coming. Any minute now. So I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, you better get close to Allah. I mean, in a hurry. I wish I knew what word to tell you that you could get close to what you are now. And every time these doors open, if we're still here, you should make your business to be here. Try to be the first one here. Not absent, not the last one. Try to be the first one here. This old world don't count nowhere. Everything in it is going to be destroyed in any minute now. So go out there and enjoy your physical food now. You have your spiritual food. Now sit down and enjoy some physical food. And don't be such a big hurry to get up.